Okay, this is the tournament challenge. I'm going to go off of these picks. Duke is beating the winner of North Dakota State and North Carolina Central, which I think will be North Dakota State. The talent level Duke has is going to be hard to beat come tournament time. I'm going to take VCU over UCF, even though VCU is without one of their best players. I still think they beat UCF. I haven't really trusted UCF a whole lot. Yeah. Here's my first upset. I am taking Liberty over Mississippi State. Mississippi State, they are really overrated. I don't think they're really a 5. I think they're more of a 12 seed. Here's another upset. I'm taking the St. Louis Billikens to beat Virginia Tech. I like St. Louis this year. I don't think Virginia Tech's that good. I do not like this matchup for the Hokies, and I think the Billikens get it done. And Virginia Tech has proven me they cannot win in the tournament. I'm going to take Belmont over Temple and then Belmont over Maryland. I really don't like Maryland this year, and I don't think Maryland's that good. I'm taking LSU over Yale. LSU should win in the first round. Even without Will Wade, I still think they will win in the first round, but they will get bounced out in the second. But I got them get bounced out in the second round anyway. All the off-court drama with Will Wade. Louisville, I think, will beat Minnesota. Louisville's more depth. And at Michigan State should beat Bradley. Bradley is not as good as Middle Tennessee, so I say Michigan State would win. Gonzaga will beat Fairleigh High Dickerson and Prairie View A&M. I think Prairie View A&M beats Fairleigh High Dickerson, but loses to Gonzaga. Syracuse will beat Baylor. I'm going to take Marquette and Marcus Howard over Murray State and John Morant. I am so high on Marquette. I really like Marquette this year. Of course, my boys FSU should win that game over Vermont. Buffalo, I think, will beat ASU or St. John's. I think ASU bounces St. John's. I take Texas Tech over Northern Kentucky. Here's another upset. I'm taking the Florida Gators to beat Nevada. Florida is red hot. Nevada lost to San Diego State. I do not like Nevada very much. I'm going to take Florida, and then Michigan should easily beat Montana. South, Gardner-Webb's not as good as UMBC, so, yeah, give me Virginia. Ole Miss, I think, will beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma is not a good team. They do not deserve to be in the tournament. I think Wisconsin will beat... I think Ethan Happ will beat Bull Bull. I think Wisconsin will beat Oregon. I'm going to go with a big upset. I'm taking UC Irvine over Kansas State. Kansas State right now is without their best player. I think his name is Dean Wade. Make sure if you know Kansas State's best player's name, make the comment his name. So yeah, I'm going to take UC Irvine to win. St. Mary's, here's an upset. I'm taking St. Mary's over Nova. Nova's not good anymore, period. Nova's very vulnerable this year. I think Purdue will end up beating Old Dominion. Cincinnati, I got over Iowa, and then I got 10. Well, because I like Cincinnati this year. Cincinnati is one of my sleeper teams. And Iowa, I don't think is that good. And then Tennessee will beat Colgate. I don't need an explanation. Midwest, North Carolina and Iona. I am taking North Carolina. That's obvious. Who can stop Luke May, Cameron Johnson, Nasir Little, Kobe White? You got all those guys at UNC. Utah State over Washington. Washington really proved me that they're not a good team. And they got lucky. Auburn is going to blow out New Mexico State. Auburn over New Mexico State with their free-point. Ridiculous with their free-point shooting. Their free-point barrage is going to be too much. Kansas will beat Northeastern. Iowa State will beat Ohio. Iowa State's definitely beating Ohio State. Even though back to that Kansas game. Even though Kansas hasn't been good without Azubuike, I still think Kansas is going to beat Northeastern. I don't think Northeastern's that good enough. Iowa State is beating Ohio State. Ohio State should not be in. I think Alabama should be in. I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Iowa State definitely over Ohio State. Give me Houston over Georgia State. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to take Seton Hall over Wofford. See, these are my two sleepers, but I like Seton Hall a lot more this year. And Kentucky's going to beat Abilene Christian. VCU's run will be short. I will be taking Duke over VCU. If VCU was in any other region, I would favor VCU to go to the Elite Eight. But they're in the same region as Duke, so I can't see it. St. Louis, I like the Dillikens. I think they win over Liberty. I really like St. Louis a lot. Here's an upset. Belmont over LSU. LSU with the off-court drama and Will Wade being suspended is going to hurt them in the tournament. I'm going to say Belmont wins over LSU. Sorry about that. And Michigan State will beat Louisville. Gonzaga, I think, will beat Syracuse. I think FSU is going to knock out Marquette. Texas Tech, I think, will beat Buffalo. Because I can't trust Buffalo enough, and Texas Tech is just too good. And then Michigan, unfortunately, will beat Florida, because I hate Michigan fashion. I think Virginia is going to beat Ole Miss. Wisconsin over Virginia should make the Sweet 16. I don't trust Virginia all that much. I think Wisconsin will beat UC Irvine, Ethan Happ, and all those guys. I'm confident in Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is a pretty good team. I think they're better than Oregon, honestly. Purdue over St. Mary's. I don't see St. Mary's going that far, even though I like them over Nova. And here's a huge upset. And I'm sorry, Quincy. Cincinnati over Tennessee. I like the Bearcats this year. Bearcats are a good team. Cincinnati Bearcats are good. They beat Houston in the American title game. I think they beat UCF. They beat some pretty good teams this year. North Carolina over Utah State. I want to pick Utah State so bad. Auburn over Kansas. I like Auburn's three-point shooting in that matchup. Kansas hasn't been the same without Azubuike. They wouldn't be number one without Azubuike, honestly. But honestly, Kansas was overrated at the start, and I still think they're overrated. Give me Auburn over Kansas. Houston over Iowa State. I think Iowa State's good, but Houston's just an overall better team. And at Kentucky, I think we'll beat Seton Hall. Duke and St. Louis, I'm taking Duke. I want the Billikens to pull off an upset, but realistically, Duke's just too much. Michigan State, I think, will beat Belmont. I'm going to change it up. I think FSU is going to beat Gonzaga. I don't think Gonzaga's that good of a team. FSU can beat them. FSU beat Virginia by 10. FSU beat Virginia Tech. FSU also beat Purdue, LSU. We have better ones than Gonzaga, honestly. And I think Michigan's going to beat Texas Tech. Huge upset. I got Wisconsin over Virginia. Virginia proven they cannot win the tournament, and I don't think Virginia is that good, even though their side is terrible. I think Wisconsin's going to end up beating Virginia there. And Wisconsin moves on to the Elite Eight. And I'm taking them to play the Purdue Boilermakers, a Big Ten matchup. I'm going to take I'm going to take Purdue over Cincinnati, even though I like the Bearcats this year. I don't think they're that good to beat a team like Purdue. North Carolina, I think it will be Auburn. Auburn will put up a fight, though. And then Kentucky will beat Houston. The Elite Eight, Duke, I think, will beat Michigan State. Just who can stop Duke's talent level? FSU and Michigan, rematch of last year's Elite Eight. Quincy picked FSU. I agree. I'm taking FSU to win. And just because of FSU's athleticism and talent, I just don't think that Michigan's that good of a team. FSU's a much better team than last year, so I'm taking FSU to win there. Purdue and Wisconsin. Oh, I'm going to take Wisconsin. Purdue, I think, will be able to get to the Elite Eight, but Wisconsin can't play defense. Yeah, and then North Carolina, unfortunately, will beat Kentucky. Kentucky beat them in 17-18, and North Carolina in 16-17, North Carolina won it all. Final Four, Duke and FSU. Battle of big ACC teams. I'm going to take Duke, unfortunately. Like, the talent level of Duke, I don't think can be stopped. And I think North Carolina is going to end up beating Wisconsin because Wisconsin really does not. Because Wisconsin has really struggled to prove to me that they can beat a good team, even though they almost knocked off Virginia. They did beat Michigan, though. They nearly beat Wisconsin, too. They nearly beat Michigan on the road, and they nearly beat Michigan State. Wisconsin's still good, but I'm going to take North Carolina. And in the national championship game, Duke and North Carolina, rivalry round 4, I'm taking North Carolina to win. I think North Carolina is going to be prepared this time for Zion. And yeah, that is my bracket. Good. That is it.